Astra, maybe. Chamber's a sociable classic. I think Vice and Chamber
Prophet
together.
should be on the Omen, no? Okay, let's he's on the Astra, and Levin is now giving us the second Phoenix. We thought it was just going to be Aves, and Aves also said, hey, I think that we're going to see more of the agent and more players are going to pick it up.
I'm sorry, can we get a camera on Minnie's face right now? Because I've never seen someone pucker up like they're eating sour candy more. You look completely and totally displeased. Don't hold it, brother. What do you think we're here for? I want to know. You're here to tell us what you think. What do you think?
Do you think?
I'm not impressed. I think Giant X, like I said, Double Initiator is not in right now. I don't think Corrode's even a map that Double Initiator should thrive with either. So I'm not too happy with Giant X's comp. BBL on the other hand, I've never liked the Omen Astra pairing. Personally, I would just prefer a Viper. I like Astra on this map, but just play it with a Viper in my opinion. Phoenix, who knows? You got some orbs, you could go get some ults. Another Gecko. I don't see why you need Gecko on this map either. I don't think you need to plant with the Gecko. I don't think you need to retake with the Gecko necessarily.
Maybe it's a refreshable because there's a lot of corners. That is probably one of the things that I'm most excited about, because I do not remember a single time where Yampi has played the Gecko. I don't think he's ever played it in an official before. Are we getting Gecko operator?
Gecko operates.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that Yampi just goes onto that one, because on the right side, yes, we're seeing the double initiated that you do not like, but I would say it's a more conservative.
Yeah, it's just standard.
Play. Yeah, it's very standard. Even though we still haven't set the standard for Corrode, it should be just on paper, easier for everybody to understand. Is the one on BBL that we have the most questions, like playing this double controller with the Astra and the Phoenix as the sole duelist. Like I feel like there's some like
there's opportunity for BBL to surprise here with weirdness, because there's a bunch of agents that don't. This combination of agents is very new and unique. It's a new map. If they need to have some cool things and justify playing this composition, in my opinion.
I just cannot believe that Levin is playing Phoenix. Like, what is this?
Believe it. It's happening. We're going to Casters. It's time to see if what BBL has cooked up is enough to take down Giant X's. They've got something a bit more standard. Casters, take it away.
EMEA and meta reads. What can I say, Cairo? I thought that with these two teams playing Corrode, it was maybe the best chance we would see a double controller come out, because the typical one right now in EMEA is double initiator, but I wasn't really expecting these two. Something I will say about the Phoenix and Gecko is you do have a very nice double flash combo.
Yeah, I agree, and just for confirmation, that Kukuka said, it is Yampi's first ever game on Gecko, so that's an interesting one. And well, it's both teams' first ever game on Corrode as we send things off with a barrier drop in an A-main brawl.
This space goes for free to the attack side, but BBL want to try and fight it with some of those flashes. Yampi is in mid in the meantime. Neither team really fighting too heavily for that right now, as it is smoked off.
I think it's most interesting for me that it's Magnum that's ended up on the info. West side gets rid of Prophet though, and that's going to be a big loss, as well as Magnum basically opening up that A side of the map. Giant X think better of it. Probably going to head towards B.
See a lot of the value from Cloud's utility, the Prowler, the Haunt, to open up this space as Yampi. Let's catch him first, and we'll walk away with two. Two more needed for Sociable. He's already found the first. One deep, west side on the other side, and he's finished off. BBL now 3 for 3 in their opening pistols. They've struggled to shut down momentum, but building it up, no problem.
Why did GX not just move on towards the A side of the map after they get the fight won? Especially after getting Magnum, they doubt themselves, right? They get the kill here and then decide, oh, let's go back and re-clear mid. Well, there's players already been, and you know that. You allow the chance for BBL to fight back through, and they win it out.
BBL coming back from behind. The story of the series as GX start to head into mid with a lot more velocity on this round. It's just classics in hand. Yeah, BBL already showing where their priorities lie in this comp, how they want to try and play together. It's Levin supported by a huge reveal, and the ace is taken away at the very end, but it's flawless nonetheless, an in-zone flawless.
Sociable, he's put on watch, you know. that's shocking.
Hey, look, he wins them the pistol.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe we'll let him away with it this time. But most importantly, after that last round, is we now have the run it back for the Phoenix. And if you were watching the KC game earlier on Sunset, you know exactly the type of value that it will bring.
Flashing your teammates?
You said it, not me.
Right there.
As the run it back available now, you can see all coming out on the GX side as Levin is already making inroads to this backline, catching Rubino in position, but not winning the fight. Now look at the positions on the GX side. They are all the way behind where the typical spawn barriers would usually be. They have regressed in position.
I think it's crazy after the past 2 rounds that GX are so scared of mid. And this is massive for BBL, the fact that they're being able to create that conditioning, because mid is a very important part of this map.
To be able to pressure for some kind of a split push, because if GX walks straight through A main here, up the guts and try and take this solo, typically the geometry would mean that BBL are quite happy to hold on to it. And with the double controller in the comp as well, global presence of Profek, able to bring them to a halt, but Ara's already made his way through that first corridor in towards Elbow, and Levin has shouldered some of the weight to set up Sociable, who gets the double dink but no second kill.
Yeah, but the stinger from Magnum up close and personal. Isn't even able to get the kill either. So it's up to the 2 bulldogs of Profek and Yampi.
Spike planted.
Retaking from mid here, not the easiest of tasks. No player spawn side, Profek a little bit eager. Yampi can't join up with him. Has the wingman, of course, but that's almost out of the question. Cloud catching him. The rivalry between the two IGLs continuing. Verbals exchanged in the server this time. GX respond.
Yeah, they do respond. I'm worried about how they interacted with mid as we move through this map. But they did well to execute on towards A, but
good job. Good job. Clean.
By the same margin, I think that BBL's game plan being, taking this expansive mid control needs to then translate to them doing something with it, I think. Because you look at GX having all of these tools, they're happy to sit back, invite that pressure, and then execute. See Yampi already using the mosh there to stop that initial claim of space.
But I feel as if with that last round, it was like missing an open net for BBL, right? The ball went across them, across the face of goal, and they weren't able to put it in. Grabinho,
40 yards out.
Yeah. That's a screamer. Again, though, still respecting what BBL are doing in mid, not even interacting with this mid smoke, and that'll allow a chance for Levin to walk in. Players are playing anti-flash.
Still pushing GX all the way back as we cross the minute mark. BBL have been very lax in how they're holding B. That extremity has gone almost untouched by both sides so far, other than Cloud just keeping watch as fights take place in middle. Levin wins them, 2 in fact, to make a 2-on-2, as GX still have no real progress on the map, but the fights are falling quite favorably for them.
It's almost like a game of like pick your champion, right? Like in terms of like duels. They're running at each other with lances and seeing who's going to win out. This time, we've ended up even. The A site's been completely forfeited for BBL.
It's going to be another retake of that site on the right-hand side. A lot of angles to be cleared by GX. This does start to chip away at the time bank just a little bit, but plant open enough. Lots to be considered. Sociable dropping a smoke down on the spike itself as both controllers come through the link again.
The worrying aspect for the attack here is that BBL, as they retake, will have the flash of the paranoia, and there's not a lot of utility in GX's pockets either.
Again, first player in, and the spacing is off. Sociable not quite behind him, finding the burst! The transfer to the second! Sociable saving the day. BBL back on the board.
You want to talk about open nets and misses? That's a big one right there. A 2 versus 1. And what happens with the second player? I don't know if they get caught by the paranoia. Would love to see. at the same time. Yeah, like this mid-fight, the fact that everyone's just like kind of 1v1ing each other, it's just a bit of a weird round in general.
Coming down to the Red Bull clutch, right to the wire. Yeah, Cloud was blinded, so that's where your comms get really tested in a situation like that. A wide berth on the Paranoia, but always talking about new maps and wanting to try and simplify things. I think maybe that's what we're seeing from both of these teams here as they're fleshing out how they want to play it. It is very straightforward right now.
It is, and well, that B side of the map is fully being explored this time by GX. Grubby using the same angle, but he isn't getting the value that he found before. We need to be looking at that B site, and the fact that Profik is going to be in a very difficult situation if he faces into two. I said that, and of course,
I don't know how he's done that. It's one of those situations, he comes off the angle, they're on the line, and then somehow Pika's advantage is huge on land.
Yeah, that's the second time that we've seen Grubby get a kill from the exact same spot.
Yeah. And that's also something we have to call into question. How much do BBL want to entertain this? The story of week one was how disciplined they would end up being. Finally, we start to see some of that signature defender-sided proactivity towards B in the late round, anticipating the possibility of A and helping that rotation.
Yeah, but it's the crossfire and A main that's really going to be tested here as Sociable has to dip off. It's a nice Paranoia, and he's been able to get through the utility, stand, withhold. Players up close and personal. This Phantom's going to be at the perfect range! I thought he was going to get one more! And now Levin's left in a difficult situation with his position known about, and the players close by ready to capitalise. Instead, the support comes through when it's needed, and Profik was able to support.
Brilliant call from BBL there towards the late stages of the round to collect that information and have more players towards A anyway, where you see those progressive lines of cover mean that it can be such a hard one to chew through if you don't leave yourself enough time. I think it's looking every which way here as Sociable unleashes, empties the mag, and just, you can see how much it means. I mean, it has to at this point. As we say, 0-2 feels like a death sentence in groups.
It's a brilliant start so far. Well, it's just going to be straight up replay. Yeah. They've realised that there's not a lot of utility in the rounds previous, and as they try and come through, the initiators aren't able to hold it, or, well, Yampy and Profik aren't, sorry. That spike will go down with upgrades to be had.
Spike planted.
Ara was in the ult, but has a gun now as well, so it doesn't matter. They can play this as a truer post-plant, but the amount of space that Giant X have is huge towards the spawn side. Gonna have Ara up in the tower if needed. The Nightfall to just... okay, what? You should be converting this, GX. Talk about open nets. There's a goal line clearance from BBL. This has somehow turned into a 3v1 against Grubby, and he's lost it!
No button.
Talk to me, Cairo.
I'm lost for words, mate. I am lost for words. That has got to be heartbreaking. And we speak about, me and you use the term timeout territory, but you'll see the moment come up in a second with the Guardian missing what should have been the easiest kill in the world. There it is. And yeah, from then on in, BP...
And the reminder.
Yeah, what else is there to say about it?
There is to say is that BBL find themselves 4 rounds to the good, and Ara was the start of a GX performance which went dark on map 2. Needs to shine bright here. Yumpy in the corner, not yet clear.
Oh,
Phantom gets to work, and with 3 picked up, the bank balance broken of GX. That next purchase, no better than the last. BBL standing 5 players strong and soon to be 6 rounds.
Yeah, if there was any sort of doubt about BBL's position, their form, or whenever GX were able to throw at them, this time round, BBL looked back to their old selves, and they're really cementing themselves within the league as a team to be worried about if they're able to win this map as convincingly as possible.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad that you got onto that, because I was just about to say, I think GX definitely giving them a run for their money, but I mean, Corrode would be a serious asset. While we have the time, we talk about the BBL map pool. They lost Pearl, they lost Split. Those were the home grounds. And I want to bring up a quote that we had from Pal, the only real link to the new map coming into this, that he said, you know, there's a world where they are embracing the new map and teams should be aware of it. But there's also, you know, no fear in going back to what's been comfortable for them before. And sure, we've seen them send a couple of bind bans now as well. They've sort of flexed between maps before. They were running a 7-map pool starting off the year. So there is always comfort for them there to diversify their options. But
yeah, I think as well, and it's a wider conversation that has been had out with the broadcast and within the broadcast between all the talent members in terms of like where do we see like the road meta in terms of EMEA and who's going to be the first to really establish themselves on it first and demand that other teams.
They say that I'm Thanos. Thanos is here, top mid. Thanos is top
his fingers. A lazy clear, perhaps, and GX fading off. But this one is far from done. We are only 7 rounds in with an 8th coming up, and Pipson now gets to say his piece. And I tell you what, for someone who has been hot-headed before, now is the time to sort of focus up and say your piece. Powell with a smile on his face, thinky, having a thinky. Good in the
Do you know what, mate? You know what?
I had to at some point. I have to. I'm sorry. He's a coach, and his name is Thinky.
Yeah, but that's the whole point, right? It's low-hanging fruit. You are like a puppy when you you dangle a treat or something. You always go for the easy option. Sorry,
it's done now. It's done now. No, thanks.
Sorry,
no, you've hurt my feelings.
I really had to go at you there.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Everyone can see it now. Broadcast to the world. They know what it's really like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Into the next round. BBL with 3 ults here. And this is where you're wondering, what have they got cooked up? Usually you're waiting until that attack side to see the strat book really take to the server, and to be honest, if GX aren't going to force their hand, it might be a while before we see those invested, and it is a slightly stronger B defense this time, as GX have gotten in here.
That was a really big lineup there, all the way from back in spawn, but I mean, after the first couple engagements, we end up all even. West side caught out through a luck, and this is going to be difficult now as the spike goes down, because how do you even hold on with the buy you have?
Arrow down to 1, decayed by the Nightfall. Retake coming in, the flying Yampi folds him in half. BBL on the site and just Cloud left. 1v2, no sound, no chance. Profek cuts him out of the alcove. 7 for BBL.
Yeah. It was a nice attempt. There's a lineup that we actually saw from the knife that was really nice from long way back. I caught off guard by it, but generally throughout this site take, BBL just had so much to work with. They knew what they needed to, and Westside getting caught off guard is really difficult as well, because that could have been like a late win condition that burns a lot of time for BBL's retake.
Just wondering, was there not a smoke in tower when Grubby went for that?
Maybe it was late.
Go, go, go!
No, I'm unsure.
But it's not going to help their cause as, again, another round starts and Yampi continues moshing away. Sweat off the brow as far as he's concerned, as GX have actually nestled themselves in mid quite nicely here for the first time, putting the pressure on, the stun from the Neon, claiming this for their own. And the reaction from BBL, take elbow.
Yeah, go for the weak arm of the push belt. There is no arm of the push there, which is something to notice. Sociable looks to just win out everything sent his way. BBL in front and in charge. Or so you would think. Denying.
Last player standing.
Oh, I was going to say denying any chance on to winning this round. Giant X finally double up their round count.
The reposition from Magnum, but GX were aware of it. Sometimes that's all you need to get back in the game. Just a moment from one of your players. There's always in teams that call someone get a 3K, you know, and we're right back in it. It's exactly what Flickless does here.
Enemy remaining.
They end up winning it in the 2v1 as well. It's close.
Let's go. Let's go.
But they're not going to care. And again, in terms of how this comp is going to be, as long as Ara can open up these rounds in the way that he is, create the amount of space that he has, what you're looking for.
Oh, Levin, entry in, and BBL, they are really looking to deal with this. Deal with it so easily as well. I mean, Cloud's able to somewhat stabilize the team, but overall, I mean, still advantage towards the defense.
Be in the close corner as well. The placement of the smoke is a bit of a ruse. You can't afford a lazy clear here. We saw what happened before.
Yeah, I'm sure BBL will be careful, but the trigger discipline's unbelievable. Yampi doesn't know, and neither does Sociable, as Grubby is setting Giant X up for the perfect position, and there it is. We were all waiting on it, and finally sends it home. A 1 versus 2 that Magnum needs to try and get through, but he can't even get out of the smoke early doors. The trade is there, and well, you spoke about lazy clears, so that was a lazy round.
Oh, I agree. Another round though where GX get through with just one player left to tell the tale, but that's the story of it. There is no train to be seen here. It's a rail replacement bus at best. They are creeping their way through it, one map at a time. This was really nice from Grubby.
He's not even seen on the map either, which is the worst part. Sometimes you get like that little moment when it pops up.
And the bigger point to take away is, with these rounds being so close, it's about the spacing, it's about the trades, the real fundamental aspects to this game that GX are starting to perform better in.
And I wonder as well, like, as we're in this position right now, BBL will be thinking to themselves, hey, we really need to make do on the potential lead that we could have, right? The potential to make this gap as far possible, and then, like, hit Giant X with pace that they really can't live with when you look at that double initiator plus the Phoenix as well.
Out of the timeout, BBL wanting to add consistency to their games, cutting out the low points was a big thing, and now looking at the timeline, 5 in a row has been responded to. But having that pause come into effect, what is it they've done to right the ship and get back on course? Because as we said before, if you want to go to champs, you've got to be putting teams away. Doesn't matter what the form looks like, got to be at the races. GX, it's looking for that first top 8 finish since 2023. First playoffs post-merger is what they're gearing up towards. It's moments like this when you're needing to respond.
Nightfall has already netted Yampi his first entry, and well, Levin as well, as he looked to knock them down. It looks as easy as possible once again for BBL. Giant X are capitulating as we see an in-zone flawless.
Really great use of the Nightfall there from Magnum as well. Already up to 11 assists with 12 rounds played. Catches so many heading through the mine shaft, and
one enemy.
Levin, Propek doing their job. The players with sound muted.
What are you doing?
Walk straight into the jaws of the beast itself, and I don't think it gets much simpler than that for the defense to just react to the pressure being created.
So now we look towards an altercation through that A main. Look at the buy, it just doesn't convince you at all. GX can't even get even further forward than this smoke.
Adaptation from BBL as well. 3 players behind this on A, and Sociable even tucking into the corner. Does get caught by the Prowler. Sticks around, no TP. Flash right in his face. Still not cleared. Still surviving and escaping with his life. After conditioning that mid area so much, BBL just shift over, but still, they're rooted in position. Sociable's going back in for more. What's he doing?
Greedy boy, that's what he is. 4v4, we end up all even. It was like walking through glass and A main. And, well, interestingly enough, we're going to get a defensive ulti coming through, and Levin actually capitalizes off the back of it, gets himself a kill on B main. And now GX look towards mid.
Eleven just a little bit
30
hesitant,
seconds left.
placing down the anchor of the run it back before he's sent to it again. GX moving towards Link, but the crossfire is set up,
Down A.
and it is unneeded. Prophet finds 2 quick kills, so sharp, now fully warmed up. Time low, chances lower. It's a 9-3 half as BBL settle the score out of the timeout.
Will it be like the last time we seen Corrode, or will there be a curse in order? Well, we'll need to see who can win out this final map in this best of 3, but it won't be until after a break till we find out.
One enemy.
Red Bull gives you wings.
It's crunch time for Giant X. You can take a win against the princes who may never make it to Paris, but can you do it against the team in form? The ones with the crown and the logo, but yet to find one on their head. The team who have been in this position so many times before in the late game and battled back from deficits. It's time to start showing some of that character which has been built up over the time they've spent so far together.
Yeah, for me, Giant X need to show us a much better look in the second half, or every team will see blood in the water and it will allow for them to pick Corrode. As for BBL, they could cement themselves as the team for Corrode with their ideas, which are definitely not, I guess, are their own, if that makes sense. But for me, I think it's mostly been GX tripping over their own feet throughout the map.
Definitely a nice trump card to have. Corrode finding itself in the first wave of bans in every single series in the first week, except for the Na'Vi Apex game and, of course, the Apex KC game as well. But the more I talk about Apex, the more upset I get. So into the next we go. BBL's attack side starts by trying to brute force B, flank chasing them up, but it's a slow one from GX. The execution, you could probably say the same.
Yeah, BBL looking to go back and re-clear, but they'll be met with a fight.
Been around, posted up by the cannons, getting ready to fire off. BBL yet to clear him. He's only gonna get one. That second layer was Cloud in support. Levin still with a flash, ready to fight back through. It's that combination with the Dizzy. GX forced to respect it. They drop back and they fall. Yumpy and Levin getting their kills. Spike to go down, no wingman. Yumpy's hands are busy, but the 3-on-2 is there.
Dizzy will come back up late for the retake, so that'll be a real nice ace up the sleeve when GX enter the site.
Just shoulder peeking it there as well, gauging where this retake comes in from. Cloud already spotted in Link. Yet to be located, and that is the shot that does it. Levin dropped out of main.
Standing.
Next kill, Rubinos making it a one-on-one. Sociable once more, forced to don the purple cape. The Omen in play, but Cloud is the silver lining. A fourth for GX, a much-needed pistol claimed.
I mean, the ace up the sleeve, the Dizzy that came back online, I felt a little bit premature. Obviously, Cloud was seen, but didn't know where Grubby was. And then, well, from there, just kind of fell apart, gave away the 1v1s. That's never what you want in a post-plant, and Sociable couldn't put it over the line.
Come on! Go
which we know he's good for.
We see BBL move into post. One thing that GX do have is this extra initiation power to find their ways back in. A very tightly knit group in terms of kills, evenly distributed. No one having a poor performance by any standards. It's just maybe not too well versed with the map itself right now, needing those official reps, going through the gears. As BBL do the exact same on this round, loading up the orbs onto Levin, already halfway to his next ultimate.
Question is like, what's going to be... That's a fragment kill, I guess. That's one of the kills of all time. But how do you even get through these chokes with the fact that the Cypher trips are going to be there? BBL are making this interesting, but as I get interested, Giant X sent it home.
Yeah, exactly that. GX with a no-nonsense round, defending the B site nicely. Something else to think about for them is how Ara factors into all of this, how mobile he can be with the rotations, and yeah, just the game plan on the other side for BBL. Is there more to this? That's something that we always think about when Phoenix is in play. Are you just, you know, putting a circle piece in a square-shaped hole and saying, yeah, you know what, like, go ahead, pick up the orbs and we'll have an extra body to hit a site? Or how much more have you actually thought about this?
That was, I mean, that was really interesting there. The defense has a 56% win rate outside of China. I think for me as well, that the defense for Giant X will actually look pretty good overall, just because BBL really can't deal with these traps. Well, it looks even better when Cloud gets the sociable pickup.
So the Omen smoke committed to the left-hand side there, but Cloud just does fully disrespect it, and with the utility reinforcing. 3 players in close proximity of mid for GX, the first spotted, the contact taken, and the piece played.
This is a nice, aggressive play through mid. BBL caught off guard. Magnum once again. Well, it's another 1 versus 5 with a minute left on the clock. So again, it's another chance to think about things. And I wanted to open up that conversation I kind of touched on about if you're BBL, how do you deal with B? Or how do you deal with Cypher?
Go mid. I think I would like to see BBL explore a little bit more of mid, and that's sort of what we started to get on this round. It's obviously not worked too well for them, but Magnum is a key piece in solving that puzzle. With how open the skybox is, you know?
Yeah, true.
Lots of curved roofs, which make it really nice to place the haunt there. As you can see, he just tosses it out there for good measure.
Mark 2.
And that's what it's all about, man. Ding, ding. That's your answer.
10 seconds left.
Magnum's just hoping that he can keep this Guardian into the next round. I don't think he's going to be allowed to, because as soon as that smoke disperses, everyone's going to be there. And there's your answer. Exactly that. An in-zone flawless for GX in this third round. And now we start to worry a little bit, because we spoke about a 9-3 curse, and I know you don't like that term, but it's looking possible.
Yeah, it's less the curse and perhaps just what ideas do BBL have to bring to this attack side, because right now I'm not really seeing the ethos where on the defense it looked pretty straightforward. Fight heavily for mid, condition it, and then maybe lean into slightly more stacked setups on either side. Here it feels like sort of going B every round, trying to take that orb, load them up onto Levin. He has to run it back now, but you're in an eco and GX have started to close that gap.
The question I have is, like, again, like, in terms of how does it look when we get to the default rounds, and what do they find out? How are they making their decisions here? Where's the priorities? Because, as you said, like, the priorities I have a big question mark on. It's crazy to think about as well, considering how you usually think about Yampi's IGL, and I'm genuinely quite convinced, but as we've moved on to this attack, it feels a little bit lost.
And when you're considering what it is slated here for BBL on a round like this as well, you're trying to garner information on GX's setups. See if there is anything indicative about how they want to try and play it. This is a nice combo from BBL to try and fight towards A, but this pairing of Cloud and Grabinho has looked rock solid so far. Nothing has gotten past them, and that's not going to make BBL feel any better following into subsequent rounds. Sociable seems to be good for his one. Every possible opportunity in an isolated west side. finds himself dead fairly quickly. Only 1 point of retake here for GX through the link. Spike's still not down, but this could be a problem, especially if Magnum hits a few more. It's Grabinho and Cloud once again, though. This potent pair has put GX within 2.
Just wanted security overall there for BBL in the post plant, or at least getting the plant down, right? They knew that they would be very quickly overwhelmed. It's very unfortunate the way that the kills have gone through. But I think overall, they found, I guess, a way to find success in terms of brute forcing your way through some of the mains.
We're now 5 rounds in, and I hate to point fingers, but once more, I'm looking at Leven's ultimate. What exactly is it here that BBL are going to try and do with it? They've gone into B main again, and he does finally invest, but there are kill trips. The fragment has chunked a lot of damage off of him, and the entry's been denied by Flickless. Sociable's closed the gap, but there is support for GX.
That there is. Sociable, though, hasn't been considered, and that's a double entry. Still those traps, or at least the camp, is there up and ready, as Westside is available, but the rest of the team are starting to fall to the wayside as they attempt to retake. It's just all up to Westside now.
My eyes are
Already his position considered. Sociable.
everyone hiding.
It's a messy one. Neural Theft invested. He's going to find out. Both players have repositioned towards main, trying to play together. Yumpy has the ult if required. He will seldom wait to invest it. Profek converting. It's a no-nonsense double digits conversion for BBL.
Yeah, but it's also your first round of the second half, right? And it's not even done much damage to the economy of GX. I find
3 ultimates invested as well.
And on top of that, GX have actually done their own timeout coming into this next round. I wanted to talk about this and the actual setup from Westside.
Yes!
Which I found very interesting, because essentially they created a runway through that upper half wall position, and Flickless was made responsible for swinging out to anybody coming over that way. The thing that was the undoing of that hold was the fact that we saw Sociable doing that TP right out of his own smoke, and nobody really dealt with it at all.
Yeah, he can't keep getting away with it.
Yeah.
He can't. He's been able to find value multiple times, and I think paired with the Nightfall and the sound cut definitely helps. Does have the From the Shadows, and with that rotation time for GX as well, being cut by it's stalled out by an extra 10 seconds if BBL control the mid lane.
Yeah.
It's so important to have that space as a defender if you want to be able to support your B players very quickly, which is something that they've been able to do so far. BBL haven't really had a second layer there, as we're seeing the Cypher set up from Westside. 1 kill trip, 1 to guard the choke.
This goes here.
And this is the opposite to the setup that was there last time, in terms of that was the runway, right, where you see that kill trip. So I really like these adaptations that Westside is going for, always being dynamic in the Cypher set.
Sociable also faking his ultimate here as well, just makes GX second guess. You see a Prowler invested, Cloud pulled away from the A-hold, which now BBL are looking to try and hit in towards.
Oh, Ara has caught Magnum going for a look, and that feels like a silly mistake, something that was unneeded, and as the rest of the players feel the hand is forced, they're sending it on towards A.
Still, that Omen ult had so much value because Cloud was looking towards spawn, couldn't help support Grabinho, so they've effectively given up the site control here. 2 players from GX through Link, and that's the advantage that Ara gets from winning his duel on Magnum.
Yeah, GX have totally encircled this site though, and BBL have no way in, they need to fight.
To the fights they go, it's only Sociable there on the register. Signed off the death warrant as Leven does pick one up onto Cloud. 3v2, but Spike out in the choke. Not in a sight line, Leven clears, quick to snap to the second angle. Westside is in rotation.
Yeah, Spike's on the ground though, and time is getting low. That's going to be the big factor in this round. And, well, the fact that Westside is so far away, I mean, this could be a big fight on Grubby.
And he has a one-shot kill on both of these players. He's within striking distance, right up in their face. He'll find both. Just 2 rounds in it now. again, the A-hole doing its job.
Yeah. I do think there's going to be a chance to get it done, and BBL don't pay their due diligence on the site when they're trying to get the spike down.
Bottom mid is a 50-50 clear, right? There are two 90-degree angles, and Magnum has just walked straight through the middle of both of them.
Both thinks he's a Euro clone.
Laser focused. But, I mean, BBL were able to create a lot more pressure in that round. Yeah, it did stem through the Omen ult, amongst other things. Now their focus is back towards mid, and they get to link early, but not without taking a boatload of damage.
Now they have Westside at the same time, who's trying to change up his setup, but GX, I mean, they don't even need it.
Flash reveal, the initiators there, setting up Ara. GX are so quick to react and collapse into this space. We're sort of creeping towards America's time, but that's what we saw a lot of in the Sen G2 game. You've got to be ready to fight this area.
Shadows traveling.
And, I mean, right now, BBL, your review of the last 2 rounds, where do they find that things are going wrong? Because I feel as if, for me, it's the same problems popping up time and time again.
Yeah, I mean, this round is a little more difficult to sort of put down to some of the things that I'm going to raise because of the weapons, but they should be anticipating the probability of GX fighting a little more heavy for mid. Sociable gives the nod to Westside.
30 seconds left.
And yeah,
it's sort of balancing the two, as we said, raising question marks, considering this neutral space as it is an in-zone flawless, fighting into those negative areas.
Yeah, but like, again, like, the interaction with the Cypher setup, I know like I keep bringing it back to this, but it makes it so easy for, if you're Giant X, to either fight your A main or fight your mid.
I suppose that's it as well, right? You don't have like the standard Sova shocks to clear the traps, or even a raise nade.
Yeah.
No utility damage really. So
the question is, does that mean that the fade, maybe like in future iterations of like these compositions and stuff, if we're seeing Cypher come through a lot more, does it become like that sunset that we used to see where you kind of were forced to play the Sova? It's not even as if the traps are too difficult to deal with either.
No, I don't think so, because there are a lot of other good choices on this map as well. You see a lot of Vice typically played, actually, rather than the Cypher here. But it's looking good for GX at the moment, and the timeline tells that story. Just a 1 round which they ended up losing. And even then, it was a lot of ultimates invested by BBL. They have a couple more here. Cosmic Divide from Profect. We saw a little bit of it on the defense, but I mean, there wasn't really a plan there. And again, I'm coming back and talking game plan here for BBL. What is it that you want to try and do on your attack? Where are your priorities?
Yes.
Finally, we get a look in towards A main to start another round, and a little more lax on mid. You want to be baiting out this pressure, this utility from GX as much as possible, stemming it if you can.
Back to it.
Bring them down.
A main is where BBL tried to make their inroads. Ampy caught by the 0-point knife is going to be... I mean, it's not that much information, but because they've been dedicating at least one initiator towards that spot, but it's always been Magnum and not Yampy.
It's more of the same as well. Yampy has been caught by that knife before. It's a pretty standard setup. GX are just signposting their authority here. Magnum has run out of options, really. He only has the Haunt now coming into this execution.
No charges.
I think for me, this moment in time, when you've got Grubby's line on A main, the space that, well, GX have had through mid, as we now start to look at this, it feels very easy to read, but Giant X have fallen bait to the ultimate.
No, they haven't. It's a one-player fake towards A with 2 ults, but Westside has a cage in sight, already spotting the edge of the TP and finding 2 quick clean kills. The words are lost for me. Westside shouting across the stage, and the round's not even done. Absolute bloody mess over here, but Westside's left us all speechless. Clean execution, cage top sight, drops into the middle of it. It's all gone wrong for BBL.
That it has, mate. And
10 seconds
it
left.
gets worse. It's not a picture that you want to paint, but I'm just not being convinced at all. I don't know. When I think of like how they're playing it, see that round there, what I would have loved for BBL to do is rather than going in hitting B, is re-clear mid.
Yeah.
And create the space for themselves through like doing that little pop through A main, right? You saw it was an initial push over.
Sit down!
Yeah, that was in the middle of the round. A brilliant individual play from Westside. But I think if you look at GX more widely here, the protocols that they have, they're playing, a very default setup.
Yeah.
They've got their pairs, players mid, players A, Westside doing his thing. But everyone with the freedom to influence and affect the game when needed. BBL looks static by the same account, as Ara has already gotten things started up against the one rogue rifle in the hands of Levin that needs to go massive to get them an 11. It's a non-starter.
And GX just retreat, they're happy with what they've got, they give up mid. What's BBL going to do now? Seems to be try to re-clear at least. Grab that rifle back.
Now looking at the positions, Westside has changed things up. He's in the corner, ready to be in play if anyone moves through Link. That side, you've got Cloud already taking info and Ara spotting heads. Seeing if he can find another timing. And he's going to continue to push that envelope. BBL are backed into a corner. They're trying to make the A fight happen, and for what it's worth, it is a 2-on-2.
30 seconds left.
The rifle is in the hands of Sociable again, the kill leader in the server. So much he has to do. Wingman gets the plant. Counter paranoia does support Yampi a moment longer.
Last player standing.
Yeah, it does, but Ara's just so quick on the mark, on the retake. I think that's one of the few rounds that we've actually seen the spike go firmly down. I mean, sure, we've seen BBL get onto site, but getting into post plant's been a different story. But advantage finally taken by GX in this series.
So brilliant flash as well from Flickless to set up Ara here. This two as a duo have been playing together for so long now, since those UCAM days, and
I'm out of here.
just about spot the head there as Ara picks up that kill. And now GX are in the lead.
Come on,
This is their opportunity
sit down,
to go
boys.
ahead and actually win Corrode here against BBL. And the reason why we're setting it up in the sense that, BBL, everything's kind of going wrong, it's more that a strong BBL is good for the region, I think. And right now, this is just not what you expect to see from them.
It's not only that though. If BBL lose this round, the next round it is basically an equal buy. Everything will have to be thrown to the wall, and they've started it off right. They've got rid of Ara. How do you now levy this advantage in your favour? There's another pick you can potentially grab through Cloud as he's been identified.
And it's just set Util to take A main as well. Prowler in a TP, puts Sociable in a strong position, and forces GX to start respecting this a little bit more, where previously they hadn't considered it a possibility. They could just turn their attention and focus on mid. Now there's a split responsibility between the players on either side of it.
It seems a lot more convincing, this default. The way they're moving through the map, they seem a lot more confident.
But Cairo, they still have to find a site to finish on, and right now it's starting to look like that might be B, and it is only through mid as the conduit right now that they actually have to go ahead and take that space. It's going to be helped by Levin though.
Screamer of a shot, and it
left.
now looks as if it's going to be towards B, but instead, no, the pivot to A is Yampi. Catches out Cloud, Westside gets Levin, and a question mark now goes on. Can Grubby hold on? Can he be able to keep this from going towards BBL's hands? He's been revealed, but he's still not been capitalised upon as everyone descends on his position. A 1 versus 3 now for Westside.
Teed up through this mid position, no cages to at least find a half. But no BBL players in a position to initially challenge him. He has 1v1s here if he plays his cards right.
Inquiring. through the site, seeing what he can find. His investigation has found one, but it's the second player that he doesn't consider that gets the round. And finally, that is the second round that BBL have won on the attack at 11-11. We go all even.
This is the Horn dropping into mid to kick things off. The reveal which found the first kill, and with Aragon, it alleviates so much pressure from BBL's shoulders. The quick rotations, the play through the center of the map, which Flickless had been scripting for him. But immediately into the next. BBL back to start their default off with mid. Very lax in terms of taking mid. Giving GX the time of day for now.
Being a little luck wall as well to work through.
And Magnum also, in finding that ult orb, has the Nightfall for an execution. So if you want to talk about BBL building off having ults available, that's another.
Now, another potential kill could be found in Ara. The reveal comes through at the right time to bring them off the angle. But still, advantage towards GX.
Still in sight.
Unrelenting though, steadfast from Link as BBL are starting to group up towards B. This site has been cursed for them previously. It's West Side there to greet them at the gate. Traps down on the ground. Might have just caught the Nightfall. Supported by Flickless as well.
Yeah, tried to attempt the Omen ultimate combined with a Fade, Fade ulti. It doesn't work out. The players now in the corner can't quite get out. They'll need to brawl their way through, and they do so successfully. Ara's up, trained towards main, and Magnum maybe trying to take a step too far. Let's look towards Sociable and where he is. He's in no man's land, so Yampi needs to try and get this one over the line. Oh, Sociable will be very late to the party, and his steps have been heard. The players need to get onto the spike, and they do. Cloud needs to make sure that Sociable doesn't get by him, and that's what he's doing. Dropping onto the site, the spike's being defused. Sociable has no way in, and BBL let this round slip too far. It's now map and series point to Giant X.
I do not know how we've got here, but Giant X through hard graft have reached 12 rounds first from 3 coming out of the first half. BBL doing it in classic fashion, backs to the wall. You felt like there was half an opportunity here for them. Just hanging on the tip of your tongue. And tempers have certainly flared on what isn't the hottest of days today in Berlin, but I'll tell you what, this would still be an upset by every account.
The only thing is, though, Giant X need to make sure, make certain that this is going to go over the line as the players look to bust through, catch GX off guard. BBL, although, are not getting what they're looking for. Levin's ulti will run out just in time, and Giant X hold on to the site.
Ruby's still not cleared from this corner either. It's huge from him. 4 versus 2 situation, but BBL fight back. It's only Yampi now.
He's only got a stinger. That's all he's got. And it's not going to be enough.
13 to 11. The birthday present has been signed, sealed, and delivered by Cloud and his GX side.